guys, welcome to Mr. Bill Poker Vlog number 21. So this week, another fun, good week. I'm starting to run so much better. I'm playing better also. I had another deep run in my Wednesday night poker league. I did well at the cash game, and then I went and played in the card player main event at Choctaw Casino in Durant, Oklahoma. $1 million guarantee for $1,100 buy-in. I played really, really well. I didn't run so well in that one. I played really well. I was happy with how I played, and you'll see that here in a minute. If I continue to play like that, I will bink one of these tournaments. I did well at the Choctaw cash game. So for the week, because the main event was so expensive, I didn't win that much money this week. So monetarily, it was just okay, but I played really, really well, and I'm running better. My mind is clearer. I'm playing better, so it's just a matter of time before I really start to make some really good money.
Wednesday Night Poker League. Billy and I are at the same table. I'm dealing. Billy's to my left. Not ideal for me. I have first break 18,500 chips. Billy, 16,500. Oh! All right, second break. We're down to two tables, right? We have 18 players, and I have 16,800.
14,400.
Both of us need a little bit of help. We're not hurting. Blinds are about to go to 500 and 1,000. So here we go. Let's do it. Nice one.
Get you this time, Billy.
Can you see the nines?
Yeah. No, just river me on the ace again.
Oh, that's terrible. Stone, clear down.
Got what I wanted. Flip.
Billy down to stone.
So there are 10 players left. We have two tables of 5. We go to the final table at 9. We deal out our hand, and the other table announces player down. So we now know we're going to the final table. But I have ace-jack in the small blind. I have 34K, and it folds around to me. That's an insta-shove. So I shove, and Josh, who's a very good player, says, "Oh my gosh, what do I do now? We know we're going to the final table." Well, he eventually calls, made a good call. He had ace-queen. Josh had about 68, 70K, something like that, so I think it's an easy call for him also. Anyhow, I need some help, and the flop comes jack of clubs, 10 of clubs, 4 of diamonds. Ooh, great flop for me. Turn is a 10 of spades, river's a 9 of spades, so I got lucky, and I doubled up. Josh was very unlucky. I think if Josh had won that hand, he would have won the entire tournament because he had a bunch of chips and he's just a good player. He was just unfortunate.
I mean, what am I going to not? I can't not shove blind against blind.
Yeah. Any ace, I feel, is pretty good.
Take it. Lucky.
So I have 65,000. I am under the gun with ace of clubs, king of clubs, and the blinds are 2,000, 4,000. I raised to 10,000. A short player in middle position shoves for 19,000. Everybody else folds, and of course I call. The flop comes 6 of hearts, 8 of diamonds, 8 of clubs. Turn is the 7 of spades, and the river's the queen of diamonds, and I lose that hand. So I worked my way back up to about 60,000. I'm in the big blind with 3 of diamonds, 5 of diamonds. Blinds are 2,000, 4,000, and there's an all-in from a short stack for 12,000. It folds all the way around to me. I make the call. He has ace of hearts, 3 of clubs versus my 3, 5 of diamonds. 26,000 in the middle for the flop of ace of diamonds, 7 of diamonds, 2 of hearts. Good flop for me. The turn is the king of diamonds. Bingo. River's Jack of Spades, and I stack that player off and get some nice chips.
You're 60, right?
Last man.
So now there's 4 players left. I will name them: Wayne Winter, Stone Shee, Ryan Herdsman, and myself.
Ace of hearts, 3 of diamonds for me. Wayne has queen 5 of hearts. All in for 25,000 each. Queen. 3 5s. That's it. That's enough.
3 5s works.
Check.
I have an ace.
I have a 7.
So with 3 left, Wayne went out. There was an important hand. I have ace of diamonds, 3 of hearts in the small blind. Blinds are 4,000, 8,000. Ryan folds. I call the 8,000. Stone raises to 28,000, and I make the call. I had ace of diamonds, 3 of hearts. So there's 60,000 in the pot for a flop of Jack of diamonds, 6 of diamonds, 9 of hearts. And it goes check, check. Interesting. So the turn is the ace of hearts. I check. Stone bets 15,000 into 60. I make the call. The river is the 4 of clubs. I check. He checks back. He shows pocket 5s, and I won a nice pot right there.
All right, Wednesday Night Poker League. We are down to 2 players, Stone and myself. Good luck. And it was a good final table. Some good hands, some good players. I got lucky a couple times, so I'll take it. I have Stone out chipped just a little bit. I have him by about 20,000 chips. All right, blinds are 5 and 10,000. Lego. 20. And take it down. $65.
So blinds had progressed to 5,000, 10,000. I have queen jack. I limp to 10. Stone raises to 25, and I make the call. The flop comes 9 of hearts, 2 of hearts, 2 of diamonds. Stone bets 25K. I have to fold. I think that's a mistake. If I have a hand as strong as queen jack, heads up, I've got to make a raise there. I don't like that play at all. But I made up for that bad one with this good one. Blinds are 5 and 10. I'm on the button with 8 of spades, 2 of hearts. I have about 160K. Stone has 185K. I raised to 20K, and he makes the call. And the flop comes 9 of diamonds, 9 of hearts, 6 of clubs. Stone checks. I bet 15,000, and he makes the call. Ooh, scary. I have 8 deuce. The turn, though, is another 6. Stone checks. I bet 25,000. He tanks for a while and makes the fold. Nice play, Mr. Bill. So the next hand, I have 10 of diamonds, 2 of diamonds on the button. I limp it. Stone checks. The flop has 20,000 in it, and it's ace of hearts, ace of diamonds, 7 of diamonds. So I have a flush draw. Stone bets 10,000. Think about raising, decide not to. I make the call. The turn is the king of hearts. Stone bets 15,000. I make the call. And on the river, 3 of hearts. Stone now checks. So now I had a decision to make. Do I bluff, even though I had showed weakness the entire time? Of course, sometimes you do that heads up to trap. Or do I not? I couldn't pull the trigger. So Stone showed a 7 and won the pot. Okay, this next hand was probably the most important hand of the heads-up play. I have 115K. Stone has 230K. I have king of hearts, 8 of diamonds on the button. I limp. Gosh, I don't like the limp. And he checks. So there's 20K in the pot, and the flop comes jack of spades, 8 of clubs, 3 of hearts. So I have second pair. Stone leads out for 10K. I raise it to 30K, and he makes the call. The turn with 80K in the pot is the 10 of hearts. So Stone checks. I look like I'm going to make a bet, and he pushes all his chips in as though he's going to call an all in. Ouch. I still went ahead and bet 30K. Probably not a good idea, because he did go all in. I have 45,000 back. There's just no way I beat anything. I just have the 8 of clubs. He's not shoving all in without having probably at least 2 pair. So I ended up folding. He had queen 9, so he had a straight. I lost the next hand when I had 4 deuce. Ouch. So I have 35K. Operator error. No video of the last hand or the celebration. That's just bad. So I have 35K. I'm all in with 7 of clubs, 5 of hearts. Stone has jack of spades, 3 of spades, and the flop comes king 9-3. Turn is a queen. I have to have a 7 or a 5, and the river is a 10, and I am out. So congratulations to Stone She, who beat me heads up. I came in second. Still not bad. I'm playing much better, and I'm running better, but Stone, excellent job. So I don't have any video. I didn't even record any hands in my notepad about the cash game after Wednesday Night Poker. I only got to play for about 45 minutes and won $350. Yes, I think I won a big Omaha hand is how I think I got the money.
Hey guys, it's Friday, April 20th. I am on my way to Choctaw, Durant, Oklahoma to play in the card player main event today. $1,100 buy-in, $1 million guaranteed, so be a really, really nice prize up top and for all the players who make the final table. So let's go, let's do well. I've been playing much, much better, and I've been running a lot better. This past Wednesday I came in second in my league, so in the last 3 weeks I've got a first, a final table, and a second. I'm running better. I had a couple of fortunate hands, but I'm also playing a lot better. So I feel pretty good about this card player tournament.
Okay, with blinds at 75 and 150, I get pocket jacks under the gun. I make it 400. The under the gun plus 1 calls and the cutoff calls. So there's 1425 to the flop, and the flop comes 9 of spades, 6 of diamonds, 2 of spades. I bet 800, and both players call. So there's now 3825 in the pot, and the turn comes queen of spades. I check under the gun plus 1 checks. Cutoff bets very, very small, 600, and we both make the call. So at the river, there's 5625 in the pot, and the river comes jack of clubs, making me a set of jacks. It goes check, check to the cutoff, who bets 1600. I make the call. Under the gun plus 1 then raises to 4800. Cutoff calls, and I make the call. The cutoff wins the pot with a set of queens. The under the gun plus 1 is very aggressive. If he doesn't think that the cutoff has a flush, I think he would bet on anything. I didn't think the cutoff had a flush, and I was right. I didn't expect him to have a set of queens, though. I actually thought I had the best hand still. I was nervous that there was a straight out there possibly. It could have been a flush too, but I really thought that I had the best hand, which is why I made the call. So that one hurt. I was down to 13,500, but the very next hand I got some chips back. So I'm in the big blind with king of clubs, 5 of clubs. The hijack mates at 500, small blind calls, and I call. The flop comes king of hearts, queen of clubs, 8 of clubs, monster flop for me. The hijack bets 1,000. The small blind calls the 1,000. I thought about shoving. I raised to 5,000 of my 13,500. And the hijack snap folds, small blind, tanks for a while, and eventually folds. So here we are starting at level 4 in about 2 minutes, and I have made it back up to 16,500. Not so bad for getting a horrible hand that was set over set. So I'll work my way back. Okay, with blinds at 100, 200, I'm under the gun +1 with pocket queens, and I have 18K. I raise to 600. The cutoff calls, folds around to the big blind, Will Berry, and he makes it 3,000. Will is very, very tight. So I decide not to raise, but I call, and the cutoff calls. The flop is absolutely beautiful. Queen of clubs, 5 of clubs, 9 of hearts. Will checks. I bet 5,200 into 9,100. The cutoff folds, and unfortunately Will folds. So I was hoping he had kings or aces, obviously. But I got back up to 24,000 after being down, so that's not bad. So with blinds at 100, 200, 25 ante, I am under the gun with queen of clubs, 10 of diamonds. I limp. The big stack next to me, a very loose young Asian guy, makes it 650, folds back around to me, and I make the call. So there's 1,800 in the pot, and the flop comes jack of clubs, 10 of clubs, 5 of diamonds. I check, he bets 1,200, and I make the call. So there's now 4,200 in the pot, and the turn is the ace of diamonds. I check, he bets 1,800, I hate it, but I make the call. So now there's 7,800 in the pot. The river is the 3 of hearts. I check. Again, he bets so small, 2,200. I should know better. I make the call, even though I don't beat a whole lot. I was kind of hero calling, and he turns over ace 10 for 2 pair. Ouch. It's the second break, and I am going the wrong way. I'm down to 78.50. Ugh. I made one good play, but it didn't make up for the really one horrible play that I made. So with the blinds at 150, 300, and a quarter, I only have 6,600 chips. I get ace 8 of hearts under the gun. I limp. Now, I intended to do a limp shove if one of the aggressive loose players made a raise. But what happened instead is one of the tight players called, and it went all the way around to the big blind who checked. So with 1275 in the pot, the flop comes king of clubs, 9 of diamonds, 5 of spades. The big blind checks. I bet 800, and the tight player hems and haws and makes the call, and the big button folds. Big blind folds. So there's 2875 at the turn, and the turn is another king, the king of hearts. I shove for 5,500. That's one thing about tight players. Yes, they might have it, but they'll also fold bigger hands. So he tanked for a long time and folded. Yay me. Woo, that was close. So then something amazing happened. I started winning races. I had like 9,900 chips, and somebody raised. I went all in with pocket 9s. He called with king jack, and I won that one. So now I'm up to like 20,000. So the next one happened with blinds at 250, 500, and 75. I have 19K in the small blind, and I get pocket queens. So an older guy under the gun who had been playing very tight raises to 1,000. Comes around to me, I make it 3,500. Comes back to him, and he makes the call. So there's about 5,000 in the pot, and the flop comes 7-5 deuce. I bet 2,500, and he makes the call. So now there's 10,000 in the pot, and the turn is the jack of spades. I check. He shoves all in for 10,200. I say something like, oh my gosh, this is just screaming of aces, but I can't let pocket queens go here. I make the call. He turns over 4-5. Oh my goodness. The river was the 9 of hearts, and I won that one. And now I'm up to 35,000.
There's a limper. I make it 3,000. It comes around to a young guy who plays in all these tournaments, good player. He shoves all in for 19,000. Comes back to the limper. He folds. I can't fold here with pocket jacks, so I make the call. He turns over ace king. We have a race, and it runs out good for me, and I win. Third break. Holy cow, I was down to 5,000 chips, and now I got 56,500. So that was a very, very good level. We're going on dinner break. So here we are at the dinner break, and I went from 6,000 and now I have 58,000. I think I'm tied for the most chips at the table, and I think we're coming back at 400, 800 with 100 ante. So after dinner, pretty much nothing went right. I think I made good decisions, but I couldn't win any hands. So for example, I got it all in with ace queen versus pocket fives, lost. I got it in with pocket jacks against ace queen, lost. So sometimes that's cards. You have got to win races. You have to play well and win races to do well in tournaments. But the last two hands I went on were pretty brutal. And here they are. With blinds at 400, 800, and 100 ante, I'm under the gun +1 with 40,000. I have the queen of diamonds, queen of hearts. The under the gun player was a young Asian woman who had just been at the table for probably only 15 minutes, and she was hitting everything, but she was staying in and making calls that were just pretty unbelievable. Now, the one thing she was doing was if she hit a hand straight or a flush or something, she was checking those hands all the time and waiting for somebody else to bet. So anyhow, she limps for 800. I raise it up to 3,500. Everybody else folds, and she makes the call. So the pot has 9,100 in it, and the flop is 9 of diamonds, 6 of diamonds, 2 of clubs. She checks. I bet 6K. She kind of tanks a little bit and then makes the call. So the turn now has 21,100 in it. It's the 8 of diamonds completing a flush. She checks. I decide to check behind. I do have the queen of diamonds, so it's a pretty good diamond, but I wasn't sure. The river is the 5 of spades, and it goes check, check. I think I'm absolutely positively good here. She turns over pocket sevens with the 7 of diamonds. Pocket sevens calls on a 9-6 deuce flop after a pre-flop raiser, and she only had 16K left. Wow. I'm going to show you the Pro Poker Tools and show you how far ahead I am. And finally, the last hand of the card player. Main event for me was blinds are 500, 1,000, 100 ante. I'm in middle position with Jack of Hearts, 10 of Hearts. I have 26,100. It's about 26 bigs. I limp. The hijack calls. He was a very aggressive Asian young guy. The big blind is Will Berry. He raises to 5,000. Will plays very, very tight, but I have a hand that's pretty good, flops well, so I call, and the guy behind me calls. So the flop has 16,400 in it, and it is ace of hearts, 10 of diamonds, 2 of spades. Will checks, I check, and the aggressive guy checks. Pretty shocking. So the turn is the 4 of hearts. Will checks, I check with every intention of calling it all off if somebody bets, and the aggressive guy bets 12,000. Will folds, and I go all in for 21,000 with second pair and a flush draw, and he makes the call, and he turns over king of hearts, 7 of hearts. So he has a king and 7 heart outs for a total of 10 outs. Again, Pro Poker Tools, I'll show you the numbers. The river, 6 of hearts. Ouch! I am out of the card player. $1,100, $1 million guarantee. It's okay. I played really, really well. I made a few mistakes, but you know, that happens. I played well.
I ran well for a while, didn't run well at the end, and again, in a tournament, that's just a killer. So I was frustrated. I had won all that money at Wednesday Night Poker League, gave all of that back in the tournament, so I decided to go play in the cash game. I was looking for a 2-5 game. During the big events like that, they're usually pretty good. There was no seats left, so I sat in at a 1-2 table, and it was an extremely soft game. So when they finally called me for 2-5, I said, no, I'm staying right here, because it was easy pickings. So when I got to the table, there was a guy that had about $650, which is not bad for a 1-2 game. But when he talked, I realized this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He thought that he was really a good player. He wasn't a good player. He thought that he knew everything. Every time somebody did something, oh, I know why they did that. Oh, he did that because of this. And he was wrong. I mean, some of his logic of why people did things were just horrible. So I knew if I could get some hands against that guy that I would take his chips. And take his chips I did. I got a couple of flushes against him. He would never lay it down. So he ended up stacking off his $650. He bought in for another $300. Lost that. Bought in for another $300. I had to leave to go pick up my daughter, so I didn't get to stay and continue to take money from him. But I did pretty good. Unfortunately, I didn't record any of those hands either, so I can't tell you details. But I was in for $300, out for $925. It would have been a lot better. I lost one big hand toward the end when I got kind of coolered. It was pocket queens against pocket kings, and I lost, I don't know, $250 to the other person, or it would have been even better. Okay, the weight loss challenge is going extremely well. Again, I started at 197.5. Last week I reported I was at now 193. This week I can report I am at 190.5. And the weight loss really has not been that hard. I have simply avoided fast foods. I've been making healthy foods, vegetables and fruit and chicken, and really hasn't been that hard. Once again, I'll be at the World Series of Poker from June 12th to June 18th with my buddy Dane. You guys will see us at the Rio. Hopefully I'll do really, really well, and I'll be back for the main event also. Once again, congratulations to my friend Stone, who won Wednesday Night Poker League, to me coming in second. I'm very happy, though. I am running better, and I am playing much, much better. So, once again, I see that it's going to be a good breakthrough. I'm going to be making money. This week was fine. I didn't make a ton of money. I made a little bit, but that's because there was an $1,100 event. So, I'm playing well, and it's really going to get good here soon. And once again, thanks to you guys, my internet friends, for watching the videos and commenting and subscribing. I really like getting in the comments, especially when you guys tell me about things that I've done in a hand that could be better, or things that I did well, because that just reinforces the things that I should be doing in my game. So thank you very much. I'll see you guys next week.